Devin Zoolander and Jay Scott, take one, and action. Yo, what do they call me? They call me Devin Zoolander. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Yeah, they call me Devin Zoolander. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. And I look good on camera. You know I look good on camera. Yo, what's up? It's your homie, Devin Zoolander, coming all the way live from my domicile. And today is a special occasion because I have with me a longtime friend that I've followed, that I've unfollowed, that I've been her friend, that I had to do other things because it was my mental health that was suffering. Every time she would post a picture and I would be like, wow, she is so beautiful, but she always leaves me on red. So I had to do some soul searching. And through that soul searching, I learned that there was a time when we were friends always, but there was a time when we were talking about doing something together. Maybe it could be a sports podcast. The world is our oyster. So we talked about the possibilities. And after I've gone through my rebirth of how I need to view you and how I appreciate you, even though you know me and you would take really cute pictures together, I've arrived at the following conclusion, that me and you, we need to do a show together and you need to be a guest now that I have a platform. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you to my very cool friend, Jay Scott. How are you today, Jay?
I am great. Weather's great. I'm just feeling great today.
Well, that's good. That's good. Feeling great, looking great, and that's that. Yeah. All right. So what you might learn about television is that we really don't know what the hell we're doing without our cue cards. And I just realized that I'm trying to talk and do the friendly banter thing, but it's just like, wait, you did write notes. So you don't have to be so ad-libby, if that's even a word, which it isn't. All right.
Ad-libbish, maybe.
Right. Possibly. Now, let's see. The way I would like to start off this show is by asking you to play an icebreaker. And that icebreaker is called Two Truths and a Lie.
Okay.
So I'm sure you get the general gist of the game, right? Mm-hmm. All right. Now, making sure that you're speaking into the mic, I want you to tell me two truths and a lie, and I have to guess which one is the lie.
Okay. I graduated high school in 2007. I broke my toe before, and I played soccer in high school.
Graduated in 2007, broke your toe before, and you played soccer in high school. Those are the three things, right?
I messed up.
Okay.
They all true.
All right. So, okay. Let's try this again. Okay. The name of this game is Two Truths and a Lie, which means I need you to tell me two truths and a lie. Now, not to tip me off to which one is the lie, but to just say three statements, try to put your poker face on, and then allow me to guess which one is the lie.
All right. I got you.
All right. Into the mic, my sister.
All right.
Yeah, you see how that's better? Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
All right. I graduated in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
I broke my toe before.
Mm-hmm.
And I played soccer in high school.
I think the lie is that you played soccer in high school.
No, that's true. I was goalie.
Okay. All right. I mean, I guess process of elimination. Let's keep going. So you did play soccer in high school. You broke your toe before you didn't graduate in 2010.
No, I'm 07 all the way.
Right.
07.
Right. And you right. Okay, got you.
So yes, I did break my toe when I was younger.
How'd you break your toe?
Those little water steps down on the north side.
Yeah.
Like by People's Gas and Purgatory, all that.
Yeah.
I was sitting on the railing. This is when they first built it.
Yeah.
Sitting on the little railing during camp.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot some girl. Her name might be Ashley. If I see her face, I'll remember her.
Wow.
And you know how your friend be like, ugh. Do that little play around, scare you.
Right.
And I flip backwards on the pole, and I thought I just got up, but I guess clearly I smashed my foot or something.
Mm.
The adrenaline, and then next thing my toe was jacked up. I couldn't walk.
Wow.
Come to find out, I broke my big toe.
How old were you again?
Probably like 10. 11 maybe.
That's got to be traumatizing.
Yeah, I had to have a boot on, and my toes still ain't grow back right.
Wow. So what is
it's like this a little bit.
Oh no.
They still cute though, but it ain't as cute as the other foot.
Right. Well, you about to have a child, so let's just hope that child.
All right, my
doesn't.
toe's the least thing I need to worry about.
Right. I'm just saying. I hope the child doesn't get any deformities going on with the foot, where the foot look like this, like a letter R or something like that. But
No, I wasn't born this way. He'd be all right.
okay, he'll be all right. Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you for very much for telling me about your childhood, and I'm sorry that happened to your toe, but I'm glad to hear that you
Life
recovered. Life experience. Well, just to share one real quickly before we move on. So, the year is 1992. I'm about 6 years old. I'm living in Conshohocken, which is a suburb outside of Philadelphia, and I'm traveling with my mother, my father, and my younger brother. I am asleep in the car, and we're coming off of the expressway. As we're coming down the ramp to go back to our house, the door by me opens, and I didn't have my seatbelt on, and I was asleep. The events that ensued were the following. I fell out of the car, and I rolled a little bit, and my brother said very nonchalantly, "Dev fell out the car." And, that just really put my parents in just a frenzy. So my dad stopped the car. I believe it was my mom that scooped me up, ran me back to the car. My dad probably said, "Hold on, no, you can't move right now. My son is down there." And I had to get stitches. And I had to think about, wait, I think it's on. Now I have like a little facial hair, but deep in here somewhere, there's like a little like line where I had to get sewn up at. Mm-hmm. And it was just really a scary experience. But fortunately, it was at 6 years old. And from that point onward, I haven't had anything else like those kind of near-death experiences, except for when I'm driving and I want to talk big shit like to the other drivers. Well, F you too, asshole, all this and stuff. And I talk big shit when I'm behind the car, behind the wheel. But then when they roll that window down, they pull up next to you. It's just like, "Hey, what's up, my man? Hey, you selling chocolates? I got you. What do you need, man? What you want on your gas? I got you." But then when they pull off again, "Oh yeah, I'm talking big shit again." But anyway, yeah.
Well, so thank goodness you only got stitches. I mean,
yeah,
falling out of the car on the parkway.
Right. It was definitely scary. But that's enough of my personal business. Let's get back to you. So, what part of Pittsburgh are you from, and what was your childhood like growing up here?
Okay. Well, I was born on the north side. Mm-hmm. So I grew up in Fineview and Northview. And I think about halfway through 8th grade, we moved to Lincoln. So I'm like a halfway type.
Okay.
My little sister claimed Lincoln and the east side, but I'm north side.
Okay.
And then I went to Perry, so I was always on the north side, and then in Homewood. So, but I would never move back to the north side. I got a taste of the east, everything over there. I don't know what it is, but it's just not my thing in my adult years. That in the West.
You don't want to live in the West either?
No.
So where are you? What part of town are you in? You don't have to say you're specific. But
I live in a neighborhood they call Hayes. I never heard of it until I moved over there. It's
Hayes.
It's like off of Streets Run Road. It's probably for 10 streets. Okay. Like right across the Glenwood Bridge.
Yeah. I know I know exactly what you're talking about. So you're not far from Homestead.
No.
You're not far from Hazelwood.
No.
Right.
It's like about 5-minute drive from Hazelwood.
That's funny though, and also not too far from West Mifflin.
Nope, just boom, right in between.
And then Clarendon, all this kind of. I mean, I know Clarendon's a little further, but I know what you're saying though. Essentially, okay, all right, good. Well, that's interesting. So I never heard of Hayes before you said that.
I never heard of it till I moved here.
Right. Well, I'm glad that you were able to get a place there, and I'm glad that's working out for you. Now, you told me that you went to Perry, so tell me about, did you play any sports there? Were you in any extracurricular activities? Just take me back into 03 to 07 at Perry and tell me.
You good with the numbers.
I try my best, and just tell me what that era was like for you.
It was amazing.
I bet it was. Okay, all right.
I don't know what's wrong with some of these kids these days who hate high school, but I loved high school.
You love high school, okay.
Yeah. So, I played sports. I played basketball. I was a goalie for soccer. And then I did track and field just to stay in shape, during the off season. Mm-hmm. And I kept stats for the boys basketball team.
Wow.
So they just called me stats girl.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
So I was a busy little bee.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's dope though. I mean, I'm glad that you did so much. So for me, I didn't play any sports. I mean, outside the neighborhood, and one time I was in a church league, and I think the bus driver got fired because he was cussing at the kids, and it was a church league. But in his defense, they did push him a little bit too far. But anyway, my experience was I was the sports announcer in high school for the home football and basketball games, and that was a lot of fun because at the time I think I wanted to become a sportscaster. So being able to do that, it was like a natural pathway to doing what I wanted to do at one point. And after that, my athletic experience kind of went away until I moved to Pittsburgh in 2009, and I applied to be a referee at the Pittsburgh Flag Football League, and that's where I met Chris. And me and him been cool for about 12 years now, with me working for the league. More recently, it's been on and off just because this creative thing is getting my full attention now. But still, I've had a lot of experiences like traveling with the travel team to compete in tournaments and just getting yelled at for blowing a call. I've done everything in that league. I had to coach before, referee before, run the operations, do the concessions, like make phone calls and keep track of leads so that Chris could follow up and just get those people to sign up. So a lot of things like that. And that was my primary experience with sports, but I'm a big sports fan. I watch like First Take and Undisputed with Skip and Shannon like every day. And yeah, I still have a lot of love for sports, and at times I'm going to probably drop some sports references throughout our conversation.
All right. Well, so that's where I met y'all there, huh? I said I got lucky enough to just have to coach. You was like a jack of all trades.
Yeah. I had to be, because running that league, I mean, it's a lot of fun. But it's also very ambitious, and it only works if you have people that are willing to essentially play out of position. It's like, yo, I know that you 6'10", and I know that you like to be down on the block, cleaning up the rebounds and getting offensive boards, putbacks, all that kind of stuff. But I need you to step out and become a stretch five real quick, because, we got to open up the lanes for Russell Westbrook, something like that. So you just got to be able to move into different positions.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All right, moving along. Well, you're knocking out these questions. I asked you one question, you answer a bunch of them, but that's good. Now, you graduated from Perry in 2007.
Yes.
And from that point, you went to college.
Yes.
Okay. Where did you attend?
I went to Kent State for my first 2 years. And then I have a long...
Okay. All right. Well, we got time. A long path.
College path also, but it wasn't as delightful as the high school experience. Okay. But I'll try to make it sound like it was.
All right.
So I went to Kent State for 2 years. Then out of state tuition, everything just got a little bit too much. So I ended up transferring to Pitt Greensburg. Wanted to go to the main campus, but I got played. Don't sign up. Be careful what your major is. You can't be playing around about the third year,
right?
Or they gonna stick you up there.
Okay. All right.
So I thought I wanted to be a human biologist. So I had all these science courses and labs, and it was too much.
Got you.
So I ended up being up there and just finishing out. I commuted probably like 45 minutes. I think I was living on the hill and in Homewood. So I would drive up to Greensburg. Yeah. For my last 2 years.
Wow.
Until I got my degree in Spanish. And lucky for me, they didn't have a teaching certification program for Spanish. So I just have a Spanish degree.
Right. Got you. And we're back. Yes, Devin Zoolander sitting with the lovely Jay Scott. And Jay was just telling me all these things about her college path. So when we last left off, you were telling me about how you used to commute about 45 minutes every day to get from either Homewood or the Hill all the way out to the Greensburg campus of Pitt, right?
Yes. God bless me.
Yeah,
in
God
my journey.
Bless you. And you were telling me about your Spanish degree.
Yes. So that's a whole story for another day.
Okay.
But in summary, I basically didn't have a Spanish program, and my professors, the two that were there, wanted to go on sabbatical, and the other one was sick, so they were kind of like forget y'all.
Okay.
So I had to piece together classes from the main campus and overseas just to graduate with the Spanish degree.
Wow. That's
I know.
yeah, that's something. I mean,
Yep, but I got to study abroad by default because of it, and that's where I had my Costa Rica experience. So it was amazing, and I would probably want to move back there in the near future.
Costa Rica.
Yes.
All right. So how's your Spanish now?
Está bien.
Oh, okay. All right. I see what time this is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's malo.
Okay. All right.
It's like it's not. Well, when I first came out, it was like
It was smooth.
Me and
Yeah.
my friends used to be on the south side, and I
Right.
just pretend like I was Dominican.
Right.
So it used to be like, and
Right.
they used to be my translators. Whole little gimmick.
Yeah.
But now it's like if you don't use it, you lose it.
Right.
There's no one to talk to.
Right. You know certain words, and you know general things like how to get by a little bit, but not where you're going to be anybody's translator talking about, so, oh, what he's trying to say is.
I
Right.
would need maybe another a month to get my feet wet again. But like I say, I'm not in live action.
Right.
Nobody to talk to.
Totally understand.
So yep. So that's part one. My GPA wasn't the best, so I just knew that it was because I was a little young and not focused. So I tried it again. Mm-hmm. And I went to Duquesne, I think in 2014, and I got my ESL degree. So I have an ESL education master's. And then I just recently graduated from Carlo, secondary English.
Wow. So
I'm an education person.
yes, you are an
At
education person, definitely. So tell me about that education aspect. Like, tell me about where your first job was and what have you learned about yourself?
Well, my first job working with children, I started out about, I think, 11th grade working at the YMCA. So I did summer camps and after school programs. So that was my first experience with kids. Like I said, I met a lot of great people. Like I said, it's a great experience. But then, you grow up, summer camp during your, off season of college is okay. But then, we all grow. So eventually I start working at a school at Faison in Homewood. I was the data specialist there. So it's kind of like secretary, but I do schedules and all that intricate stuff. But I said I wanted to start teaching, so I ended up I start substitute teaching for Pittsburgh Public.
Oh, I know that life. I did subbing. And, it takes a special person to be able to do that.
Yeah, they don't treat us right.
Not at all. They'll let you be in a classroom for like 15 straight days, and if you get to the 16th or something, then they'll be like, yo, we're going to pay you a salary, and then that teacher show up, and then it's just like, oh yeah, you gotta start over again, and just all that kind of BS. It's just mad annoying.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was like my first teaching experience, and I learned a lot. Like I said, I've probably one of my strongest teaching aspects is classroom management, and that's probably because working substitute teaching at Pittsburgh Public, you got to come in there, because how we work. What's up?
Yeah.
Come in here like, look.
Yeah.
I'm not taking y'all mess.
Yeah.
Don't put your hands on nobody.
Right.
Don't leave this room. Just like.
Right.
So.
That's where you got your classroom management technique from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it suited me well. But like I said, it's a whole nother day to talk about my teaching experience. And like I said, if we could talk about it again later. But like I said, I'm going to need a couple of days for all my
stories.
Yeah, my teaching experience.
That's understandable. I definitely have mine too. And if I do say so myself, they're quite funny. So we are going to have to do that again. But moving forward, that was your teaching experience. Somewhere
my first one.
Your first one. Okay. We can we'll table the other teaching experiences until the next conversation. But for the purposes of this conversation right here, to advance it forward, I want to talk about a recent side hustle that you have entered into, and that is you are an Airbnb host. So
Yes.
please tell me about what inspired you to do it, and what has your experience been like so far?
I'll say about 2 years ago, I seen like a ad. You know how Facebook is. We're like oversaturated with content.
Yeah.
So I seen an ad. No, I can't even remember the guy's name, but I just watched this little video about managing Airbnbs. But I didn't follow through with it, and then a couple years later, I decided to just pull the trigger with it. And in my mind, those years ago, I thought you had to like actually purchase and have your own house and whatnot. But this one, I rented. So it's kind of like a subleasing type of thing. So
I didn't know you could do that.
I know, me either, but here I am.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as long as you're like upfront about it, yeah, and corporate leases and all of that other stuff, but that's a whole show.
Do you tell your landlord that you're doing that, or is that something that you just keep between you and Airbnb?
So I got into a situation where my landlord didn't do their due diligence, and it turned into a whole hoopla. So I think it was like an occupancy issue. They didn't put the paperwork in. So it seemed like, me and my guests were squatting. And all in all, I thought it was because we couldn't do Airbnb. Come to find out, they didn't submit. I wasn't supposed to be in there if I was living there by myself.
Right.
So it just depends. Sometimes you just gotta, the more people you ask, the better off you are. If you got 20, property management companies, ask 20 of them. Somebody's going to say, yeah, we'll take corporate leases, or, we don't mind. You just have to do like all the selling points of why, short-term rentals are better than long-term rentals. You're just basically selling yourself.
Right.